guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you watched my last video. My name is Isa Cal, and today I'm going to be building the infamous Lizzie Borden house. Now, for those of you who may not know who Lizzie Borden was, she was a woman who lived in 1892 in this house with her entire family, her dad, her stepmom, her sister, and they had a maid and all that good stuff. They were pretty chill, but on the morning of August 4th, her stepmom, Abby Borden, and her dad, Andrew Borden, were actually murdered in this house. It was said that Abby was struck 18 times with the hatchet and Andrew was struck 11 times with the same hatchet. But the trick of it is that the murderer was never really found. For a minute there, they had Lizzie as the main suspect just because it kind of all added up because she was one of the only two people in the house. The other one was the maid, but the maid was kind of asleep at the time. And Lizzie just kind of had some issues with her family and she didn't really like her stepmom. There was said to have been some tension between her and her dad, so she's probably the person who killed them, but she was acquitted of the crime when she actually went to trial. So officially, while there are suspicions that Lizzie did it, this murder is technically unsolved. The house is also supposedly incredibly haunted now, so that's a whole lot of fun. Apparently the ghosts of Lizzie, Andrew, and Abby can be seen in the house. I don't know if the sister Emma haunts it too, but those other three for sure apparently are constant specters in the Lizzie Borden house. So now it's a bed and breakfast, I think, and you can actually like rent a room and just kind of hang out in the house and spend a night there if you really want to see some ghosts. So the version that I'm building is actually a more modern version. I was looking at pictures on Google for reference, and most of them were from people who visited the house recently, who took pictures on their trip and who, uploaded them. And I also used Google Maps to get a feel for like the whole outside of it, just because I wasn't finding good pictures of especially this side that I'm doing right now, because pictures are always taken from the other side for some reason. So this is a more modern version of the house. I don't know if it has ever really been changed that much. I know I am missing the back house and like landscaping, but if you watch my last video, I don't really like landscaping, so I didn't really want to try that hard on the landscaping, especially because like now it's mostly concrete because of the parking lot. So I didn't want to do that anyway, just because it was kind of, dull and boring. I didn't want to put a whole parking lot in the back of this house because it would totally stand out in the middle of whichever land I'm building on. So I didn't even bother. But I did do a little bit of landscaping up in the front to kind of match the pictures that I saw on Google Maps. And so I think it's just like a tree and a bush. There's like a little fence and stuff. So that is pretty much the only landscaping this build is going to have. Like I said, I'm really bad at landscaping and I really didn't want to try because the rest of the build was more interesting to me. And I like furnishing the inside more so than I like furnishing the outside. The outside is kind of like an afterthought for me just because I really, really like decorating interiors. And if you watched my last video, yeah, it's just better with the minimal amount of landscaping possible. But, I think it kind of looks all right. I think it's kind of solid the way that it looks kind of minimal, and I think it blends into the world around it a little bit better. That's just me, in my opinion. I think if I were to actually make this a build that I would want to use in my own gameplay, I might put a fence around it just because I like to do fences. But for the most part, I'm pretty content with the way that it turned out. One of the biggest issues that I had when building this house, however, was trying to get the size of it right, because a Lizzie Borden house on the inside is so odd. Like, this family did not believe in hallways. I don't know if it was part of the times, but I need hallways. I like hallways, and they do not have any hallways in this household. Both the downstairs and the upstairs floors are just rooms connected together by doorways, and so I didn't have to worry about putting in a hall or putting in anything because they would just apparently walk through rooms to get to the other rooms. And I don't know if it's just me being modern with my modern conveniences, but I like hallways. I like being able to close my door and knowing that someone isn't going to try to get into my bedroom because they're trying to get to the kitchen. I just thought it was kind of weird. So what I'm doing for the most part when I started working with the interior and for the next couple minutes is just me trying to resize the house to make sure that everything fits. Sometimes when you're trying to translate real life houses into The Sims, it can be a little bit difficult because, things don't always work out the way you want them to. I know when I was trying to build like my childhood home like a year ago, it was really hard to get the dimensions right. And so the same thing applies here with the Lizzie Borden house. I was lucky though because again, there's no hallway. So it was just a matter of resizing to make sure that all of the rooms were an appropriate size. I'm sure some of them are bigger than they really are in real life. Like the kitchen is really large, but that's just because I needed to fill the space and there was no other room in that area. So it just all became the kitchen. And in the upstairs room, Abby and Andrew's bedroom is actually really, really big. And it's also where the only bathroom is going to be located. You'll see that later when I get into the decorating part. I didn't really see any bathrooms in the floor plans that I looked up. I'm sure they have more now because it is a bed and breakfast, right? So you would think they would have more than one bathroom for the guests staying in this house. But I kind of just put in the bathroom where they had the only bathroom. So now I'm going to start going in and putting in carpets and things like that. Of course, I don't have any CC in my game. So I had to use just what EA provides us with the games. And I have most of the packs. I don't have some of the like stuff packs just because like Luxury Party doesn't seem worth it at all to me to spend even $5 when it's on sale. So I don't have that pack. I don't have my first pet stuff just because I don't want the hamsters. And there's a couple other packs that I don't have. So all of the packs that I do have, I had to try and find things that match the house as close as possible. Obviously, they're not going to be exact because we don't have the exact same colorings or the exact same patterns, but I did my best to at least match the overall colors in the house and in the walls and things like that. So I did end up using quite a bit of vampire stuff and then some base game stuff because of the older wallpapers that I normally don't like to use in my own build. So this was kind of fun because I got to make a house that looked old, because all of my houses, and I'll probably post a video sometime next week of one of my houses that I built for my 100 baby challenge. My houses are a lot more modern. They're a lot more bright. I use a lot of white colors, a lot of, pastel-y colors. So using darker colors and like this rug, or this carpet, I never use. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I did have a lot of fun. I also got to use a lot of base game furniture that I never would use in my real game plays, like the curtains. I used a lot of the curtains that I never touch because I personally don't like them, and I don't think they follow my aesthetic that I normally go for in my builds, because all of my builds kind of look the same because I have a pretty set aesthetic for what I like to do. Sometimes I like to switch it up. So building this was definitely fun for me just because I got to, explore all of the stuff that I never otherwise will explore. Right now I'm building the sitting room that's right next to the entrance of the Lizzie Borden house. And this one was kind of easy to do. I had a little trouble with the tables because we didn't have exact colors. But for the most part, the furniture reflects the picture that I was looking at. So I tried to fill it up with what I could, and then I just downsized those tables because EA tables, side tables especially, are really big, and I don't know why. Sometimes they're fine, like for bedrooms and stuff like that, but other times it's like, why do they have to be so big? I don't understand it, so I just size them down. And for some reason with me, whenever I size things down, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just I don't know what it is, but I can't usually put stuff on the tables because it floats. So that makes me think it's a glitch because I feel like I haven't really had that problem before, but it could also just be me not really doing it right. Although I've tried in 1,000 different ways and it always turns out kind of weird, and it's always floating, even when I do like 9 and 0 and all that stuff. So I don't know. That's why nothing is going to really have anything on the tables. There's not going to be a whole lot of stuff on the tables. I try to put pictures where I saw that they had pictures. I tried to put, cabinets in. I tried to make it as close as possible to the actual pictures that I saw. But of course, it comes with its challenges because, I'm not going to have pictures of Andrew Borden's dead body, which apparently is what they have in the Lizzie Borden house now. So I just kind of did what I could with the pictures that I had. Again, EA doesn't provide a whole lot of really cool picture frames. So I had to kind of use the same ones over and over, which kind of sucked because, I always wish we had more paintings, more pictures with frames on them. I don't know why we have so much of the wall decals, but it is what it is. When I did used to play with CC, I used to have some pretty dope art and things like that, but because I had to take all of my CC out and I can't really use CC anymore because my laptop is kind of old, I just kind of get stuck with whatever EA provides. And that includes even like Sims. All my Sims used to look so cute with their, CC clothes and their CC hair, and now I kind of have to deal with whatever EA has. But I did really like the stuff provided with Eco Lifestyle, so I've been using a lot of those clothes and like the exteriors, the floors. I really love the furniture in Eco Lifestyle. It's absolutely amazing. And then we got Nifty Knitting last week or something like that, and of course that came with rocking chairs and all of the hanging plants, which I was so excited for. I might have to re-record the build that I plan to put up next week so that way I can add some more hanging plants because I did that way before Nifty Knitting came out. So now this is the room where Andrew Borden was actually killed. This is the parlor, but this is where he was killed. And the couch that is actually not even in frame right now is the couch that he was found on because he was taking a nap when he came home from his morning walk. And he was just massacred on the couch and he was just left there. And now apparently people like recreate the picture, which I think is really macabre and morbid, but also kind of cool. So yeah, after that, I kind of skipped through doing the other rooms just because it would take a really long time. And it's more so just the way that they look because nothing really significant happened in them. I really wanted to do the rooms and to show the rooms where the murders took place. The room that I'm doing now is actually Lizzie's bedroom. No murder took place here, but I mean, this is where she slept, so that's interesting. But yeah, like I said, there's no hallways in here. So imagine if you were sleeping in Lizzie's bedroom and somebody else was sleeping in one of the other bedrooms that's connected to that bedroom. They'd have to go through your bedroom to get somewhere else. I think that is so odd. And I don't know if that's like a style of the architecture of the time or what, but I like my hallways. I like closing doors. So I don't know. It's just weird. But now I'm doing the room where Abby was murdered, and right there where the dresser is, in between the dresser and the bed, is actually where her body was found. She was lying on the floor face down when they found her, and apparently if you walk up the stairs from the bottom floor and that bedroom door is open, you can actually see under the bed. So that's how I think Bridget, the maid, found Abby, as she was walking up the stairs and she saw her body through the underside of the bed. Which is crazy to me because, like, imagine walking in on that. That must have been traumatizing. So now we're coming up to the end of the build. I'm just putting in some lights in the bathroom. And so let me know what you guys think about the build. If you like this kind of stuff, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. Let me know if you guys want me to build more things like this. I could totally build more horror houses if you guys want. Just let me know down in the comments, and thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the views that I get, and I just really hope that I could continue doing this YouTube thing, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, enjoy these screenshots here of the build itself with as nice of furniture as I could put in there because of the limited stuff with EA packs. Did my best. Hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks guys. See you later. Also, shout out to my best friend for making this super amazing art for me. I was so excited when he said he would do it, and he did it, and now it looks super, super cool. So his Twitter is down in the description. Go ahead and give him a follow because he's a super amazing artist, and you won't regret it. Okay, anyway, bye!